Hello all, this is Dr. Pawan Jagannath Tamde, working as Assistant Professor in Chemistry at Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samaj, Nashik. In this video lecture, we will see Introduction to Cycloalkanes, and in that special emphasis will be on bare strength theory. We all know that chemistry of carbon compound is well explored, and certain things about organic compounds or carbon compound are very clear. Carbon can form up to 4 single bond. When carbon form 4 single bond, then it adopts a tetrahedral geometry where bond angle is 109.5 degree. Compared to other atoms on the periodic table, for example oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, halogen, and so on, carbon forms very strong bond with itself and therefore can form a stable long chain. This property of carbon is called as catenation. Carbon-carbon single bonds can rotate freely, and the three-dimensional shapes that arises because of such rotations are called as conformer, and that phenomena is called as conformation. These conformer can significantly vary in their energies. So all these things are well known about carbon compound. Apart from this, we also know that carbon atom can also form ring, and the molecule which arises because of formation of ring by carbon-carbon single bonds are called as cycloalkanes. So in this lecture we are going to explore certain properties of cycloalkanes. So now we will do a sort of comparison between alkanes and cycloalkanes. For that we will consider some examples in which number of carbon atoms varies from 3 to 7. So we will get some alkanes, straight chain alkanes like propane, butane, pentane, hexane, heptane, and these are their structural formulas. And these are condensed formula which follow the pattern CnH2n plus 2. So this is about alkane. If you consider cycloalkanes containing same number of carbon atom, then we will get cycloalkanes like cyclopropane, cyclobutane, cyclopentane, cyclohexane, and cycloheptane, and these are their structures, and these are the condensed formula of these cycloalkanes. If you look at condensed formula of these alkanes and cycloalkanes, then one thing you will note that in case of cycloalkanes, in each condensed formula there is decrease in two hydrogen atoms. Say for example, in case of alkanes, for propane having 3 carbon atom, the formula is C3H8. However, for cyclopropane it is C3H6. There is a decrease in hydrogen by 2 number. In the same way, if you look at a condensed formula of other alkanes and cycloalkanes, you will find a same trend. So, the formula of linear alkane follows the pattern H is equal to 2n plus 2, where n is number of carbon atom in that particular alkane, and in case of cycloalkane this formula is H is equal to 2n. So if you carefully observe these formulas of alkanes and cycloalkanes, you will note that when alkane form ring, the number of hydrogen decreases by 2 in alkanes, and we will get a respect to cycloalkanes. So cycloalkanes are saturated hydrocarbons in which carbon atoms are joined by single covalent bond to form a ring. The general formula of monocyclic alkanes is CnH2n, just like alkenes. And these are certain examples of cycloalkanes which we saw in earlier slide as well. If number of rings increase, then hydrogen content of molecule is decreased by 2 for successive rings. Suppose in cycloalkane, if there is more than one ring, then hydrogen content will decrease by 2 for each successive ring. Let us consider an example. If you look at these cycloalkanes, are having 2 rings each. And if you look at molecular formula of the cycloalkanes, then you will note down another similarity, that in these 3 cases the number of hydrogen is further decreased by 2 as compared to these monocyclic alkanes. So if number of rings are increasing from 2 to 3 to 4 and so on, then each time number of hydrogen will decrease by 2. So this is a general observation about cycloalkanes. Now we will see how Bayer's theory originated. Dear all, the physical and chemical properties of alkanes and cycloalkanes are nearly similar because they are nothing but alkane in cyclic form. However, we notice that cyclopropane and cyclobutane shows difference in their chemical behavior. They undergoes ring opening addition reactions in the same way in which alkene undergoes addition type of reactions. However, in case of cyclobutane needs somewhat vigorous condition for such reaction, but cyclopropane is very fast towards such ring opening addition type of reactions. For example, when cyclopropane is allowed to react with HBr, it reacts readily at room temperature and this ring opens and we will get this type of alkyl bromide as a product. In the same way, when this cyclopropane is allowed to react with chlorine in presence of some catalyst, we will get this type of addition product. If suppose cyclobutane is allowed to react with HI in presence of some catalyst or at high temperature, the ring opens and we will get this type of product. However, if we do similar reactions with higher cycloalkanes like cyclopentane, cyclohexane and so on, then such molecules do not undergo this kind of ring opening addition reactions. And this is the reason that Bayer thinks something about these cycloalkane molecules and he gave his theory. So in order to explain such behavior of cyclopropane and cyclobutane, Bayer gave his theory which got fame as Bayer's strain theory. According to Bayer, tetrahedral bonds are compressed in ring structures and because of that angle strain arises in cycloalkanes, which makes cycloalkanes little bit unstable and thus more reactive as compared to alkanes. So this is our carbon atom and carbon atom is present in tetrahedral, then bond angle is 109.5. However, when this carbon forms rings, we will get this type of structures or molecules, and in these molecules you can find out this internal angle. In cyclopropane, internal angle is 60 degree, cyclobutane 90 degree, cyclopentane 108, cyclohexane 120 and cycloheptane 128.5 and so on for higher alkanes. So if you look at these internal angles in cycloalkanes, then it deviates from the normal bond angle of carbon in open chain compound, which is 109.5 degree, and thus these molecule may differ in their stability and reactivity according to Bayer. Bayer assumes that cycloalkanes are planar, polygon, and he calculated angle strain commented on their stability and reactivity. In order to calculate angle strain, he used this type of formula where angle strain is equal to tetrahedral angle, that is 109.5 degree, minus internal angle of that particular cycloalkane. So let us take an example of cyclopropane. Internal angle of cyclopropane is 60 degree. So according to Bayer, angle strain for cyclopropane is tetrahedral angle minus internal angle, that is 109.5 degree minus 60 degree, which is 49.5 degree. So according to Baer, this angle strain in cyclopropane is quite high. It is 49.5, because of which cyclopropane is highly reactive in nature because it gets instability. In the same way, if we calculate angle strain for these different cycloalkanes, we will get this type of data. For cyclopropane it is 49.5, for cyclobutane it is 19.5, for cyclopentane it is 1.5. So this difference is quite less, or we can say negligible. In case of cyclohexane it is minus 10.5, cycloheptane minus 19.5, and if number of carbon atom increases, then this angle strain also found to be vary. So from this observation, Baer state that all ring systems are planar. Deviation from normal tetrahedral angles leads to unstable cycloalkanes. The large ring system involve negative strain and hence do not exist according to Baer. According to his theory, if deviation in angle is more, then molecule is more unstable and thus more reactive. According to him, the relative order of stability for some common cycloalkane is like cyclopentane is more say stable as compared to cyclohexane, which is indeed more stable as compared to cyclobutane and cyclopropane. So these are certain assumptions Baer put forward depending upon his observation. Now we will see heat of combustion data and stability of cycloalkanes so that we can compare between Baer theory and practical data which we are getting. So what is heat of combustion? Heat of combustion is amount of energy released when 1 mole of compound is completely oxidized. Suppose this is some carbon containing compound. When this organic compound is oxidized, we will get CO2 and H2O, and energy is liberated in this reaction. So the amount of energy liberates in this reaction when 1 mole of such carbon containing compound is oxidized is called as heat of combustion. So when open chain organic compound undergo combustion, the average heat that evolved per CH2 group present in that molecule is 157.4 kilocalorie per mole. This is data which is collected from number of reaction, and average heat evolved for per CH2 is found to be 157.4 kilocalorie per mole. The relative ring strain in cycloalkane can also be calculated from practical values of heat of combustion. In earlier few slides, we have seen angle strain, which is calculated theoretically by Bayer's formula, and now with the help of this heat of combustion data, we can find out relative ring strain practically. For that, the formula is relative ring strain is equal to 157.4, which is average heat evolved for per CH2 group in alkanes or organic compounds minus heat of combustion per CH2 group for a particular molecule of which ring strain is to be calculated. So if you look at again the same cycloalkanes, then heat of combustion per CH2 for this cycloalkane is given here. This is practical data. For cyclopropane it is 166.6, for cyclobutane it is 164, for cyclopentane it is 158.7, for cyclohexane it is 157.4, which is ideal value, and for cycloheptane it is 158.3, and so on. So when we calculate relative ring strain from this practical data, then this is the value for relative ring strain, and in this value you can note that the relative ring strain in cyclohexane is 0. However, in cyclopentane it is 1.3. According to Baer strain theory, cyclopentane is more stable as compared to cyclohexane. But according to this relative ring strain concept, cyclohexane is more stable as ring strain in cyclohexane is 0 as compared to cyclopentane. So if you compare angle strain and relative ring strain, then we will get this type of say data. According to Bayer's angle strain, this is angle strain value for the cycloalkane, and according to heat of combustion data, these are relative ring strain for these cycloalkane molecules. And if you look at this data carefully, you will note that according to Bayer's angle strain is minimum in cyclopentane, and thus cyclopentane is most stable among these cycloalkanes. However, according to ring strain is minimum in cyclohexane, and thus cyclohexane is more stable as compared to these cycloalkanes. Practically, we found that cycloalkane is more stable as compared to cyclopentane, and thus the data we obtain from relative ring strain is more valid in this particular case as compared to Bayer's angle strain. And because of that, Bayer's theory failed. So there are certain limitations of Bayer strain theory, and there are some reasons as well. Some limitations are because of the theory can explain behavior of small ring molecules like cyclopropane and cyclobutane only. But in general, the theory fails. The theory's assumption regarding cyclopentane, cyclohexane and higher cycloalkanes failed completely. Theory fails to explain stability of cyclohexane and cycloalkanes with more than 6 carbon atoms. Angle strain and ring strain values of cycloalkanes do not matches, as we have seen in earlier slide. The theory considered that all cycloalkanes are having planar structure, and these assumptions of Bayer strain theory are responsible for failure of theory. So the theory assumes that all cycloalkanes are planar polygons. The compounds which are difficult to synthesize are unstable, and because of this reason the Bayer strain theory fails. I hope you got a concept of Bayer strain theory in this video lecture, and it will be helpful to understand the future concepts in cycloalkanes. Thank you very much for watching my video. Thanks a lot.